Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to MotoSprinter. We are your ultimate rider's guide. This is episode 1, and we are visiting Florida Track and Trail in Punta Gorda, Florida. The date is December 31st, 2017, and I'll be driving from Spring Hill, Florida to Tampa Airport to pick up Tom, and we're headed straight to FTT. Figured it'd be a great way to spend the last day of the year. We've been planning this trip for about a month, and FTT's only open on the weekends, so the way the timing had worked out, it was pretty perfect because New Year's Eve was a Sunday and we could make it happen. So as you're pulling in this place, it's like a landing strip. You absolutely know you're in Florida. It's super exotic with the tiki bar and the beach. And it's about a half mile to the registration building on the left. There you can go ahead and get your wristband. There's a full kitchen in there if you're hungry. You can even shoot some pool. It was $33 for the day. That included paintball. If you need to rent a gun, it's like $10. Tom was able to get us some pretty cool drone shots. The facility sits on 996 acres. There's 22 miles of one-way trails. There's 3 separate trailheads. There's 5 tracks, a pro track, am track, pee-wee track, beginner, UTV. There's a mud bog section. There's a drag strip that are now holding events for. There's a venue area. So really got it all here. Your accommodations will be met at FTT. There's power water hookups at all the campsites directly across from the tiki bar and the beach. They're also going to be expanding with the new development, and I think that phase will be starting soon. As soon as we got there, we just jumped on the trails. I had been doing a KX125 project. It took me about a year, and I finally got to ride it. This was the first day, and yeah, I needed to break it in, so we were cruising around the trails a little bit, getting the feel for it. It had been about 10 years for me that I owned a 2-stroke, so definitely a learning curve again, but man, I had a blast, and the bike was ripping. Everyone who had a part in getting that thing running, thank you so much. There was a lot of open area, almost like desert dune style, where you could really just, open it up 5th, 6th gear wide open, which was a lot of fun. There's some deep sand bowls in there. Once you do get into the trails, there's, you're like dodging pines and plants. It's super exotic, like you're just blasting through the jungle, so that was pretty cool. So coming from the parking area along the way to the trails, there's a really cool roller section. And yeah, I really got to test out the suspension, which A1 had me hooked up. Wes and Andy took care of me. They built me a strong motor, so it was cool to get that tested out. Moving over to the MX tracks. The Pro Track was closed down for the majority of the day because they had a side-by-side event, so we were on the Am track, which was still super rad. Really deep sand. There was a really cool flow to it. There was elevation. I didn't really expect a whole lot of that. Pretty big jumps. The track's not really long in distance, but it's super rough, and that kind of makes up for it. And it's sandy, so you're still getting a hell of a workout. For the inexperienced riders, if you're coming out here in the sand, just a few recommendations. Just make sure you're staying hydrated. Do a little warm-up. Stretch. I always make sure I stretch. I'm not in the best shape. I'm working on it, but that's huge because you're really gripping the bike a lot with your legs, and you're working your shoulders and your chest, your back, your arms. Everything's going to be super sore, so, the more limber and you're not going to pull anything or, strain any muscles. You also want to make sure you have a pretty good bike setup for the sand. I went ahead and put a soft to intermediate tire on there. It was digging the sand pretty good. There was even some sections where I say a small scoop or a paddle, could be beneficial. Also, a little bit of air on those tires and get a little traction to the ground. You can also stiffen up your suspension so the front end will kind of float. You want to always stay light on your front. The sand will, as soon as you let off the throttle on the sand, it'll automatically pull you down. So there's really not a whole lot of braking. As soon as you let off the throttle, it'll suck you down. Tom and I really love the place overall. I wouldn't say that they have the best of everything. I've been to better motocross tracks. The trails are really cool, but what they have going for them is the variety. They really have it all, and they have a good bit of land, so you can really do it all here. And it's suitable for all riders, whether it's your off-the-road, blast-the-trail guy, a weekend warrior, or even a serious racer that wants to spend some time training you know, and bettering their program, this is definitely a place to go, and you can spend some time here, and the whole family is going to have a great time. You know, your family can hang out at the beach or shoot some pool while you're out doing motos, whatever you want to do. This place has been referred to as Disney World for dirt bikes, and I am automatically all for it now. I'm on the bandwagon. I highly recommend this place. Before I go, I'd like to thank all of our supporters from Tom at Brought Alive, Andy and Wes at A1 Suspension, Brad at B&M, Shannon at East London Motorcycles. This would not be possible without you. We're living the dream, loving life, doing motos, and thanks for watching MotoSprinter. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks.
Yeah, baby.
It's like landing in a pillow.
It is.